All eyes around the state, around the country, around the world are on the Indiana Fever. And Bria, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Caitlin Clark has just achieved something in only 41 games that took Diana Taurasi 565 games to accomplish. Let that sink in. The jump we're seeing from her rookie to sophomore year might be unlike anything we've ever witnessed in professional basketball history.
There it is! A triple.
While everyone's talking about Caitlin Clark's triple-double, there's a lot more to the story. That game actually saw 11 records broken by Clark and the Indiana Fever. I watched every minute of the Fever's blowout win over the Chicago Sky, and what I discovered will leave you speechless. Clark's triple-double was just the start of a historic night that rewrote the WNBA record books. If you're supporting Indiana, drop a comment below saying, "I've got the Fever. Let's go."
Having the Fever organization be what it is today, like, it is just so fun to be a part of. There's been a lot of anticipation.
You've done a great job in training camp leading to this moment. Enjoy it. Okay, go out there and have some.
While all eyes were on Caitlin Clark that night, something else remarkable was happening, almost unnoticed. Diana Bonner stepped onto the court needing just 7 more points to reach basketball immortality. Think about that. 15 years of professional excellence, thousands of points scored, and now she was just moments away from becoming the 3rd highest scorer in WNBA history.
Bonner is the 4th all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. And in her first game with the Fever, will likely move into 3rd all-time. She's currently just 6 points behind Tina Thompson for 3rd on the all-time scoring chart.
Would anyone even notice this milestone with all the Fever mania taking over? That was the question lingering in the air as the game against Chicago began. Diana Bonner has been scoring buckets since 2009, steadily climbing the all-time ranks during her time with Phoenix, Connecticut, and now Indiana. And here she was, just 7 points away from passing Tina Thompson on the WNBA's all-time scoring list.
Bonner, who knocks it away, cookies, TV, open court, right side, and she lays it in!
The moment finally came in the 4th quarter. Bonner stepped up to the free throw line needing 2 shots. The first swished through the net, tying the record in front of an excited home crowd. The second shot? It made history. With that bucket, Bonner passed 7,188 career points, becoming only the 3rd player in the WNBA's 28-year history to reach that elite scoring mark.
One more free throw for Bonner. It's in the air, and it's good. Diana Bonner now 3rd in WNBA history in scoring. 7,489 points and counting. Lord, and here's the ovation for Bonner.
What makes Bonner's milestone even more meaningful is how she's reshaped the culture of the Indiana Fever. She's not just a veteran chasing stats. She's a 6-time All-Star and 2-time champion who brings a winning mindset to a young team hungry for leadership. When she talks in the locker room, rising stars like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull listen.
You know, DB is somebody that, is a Hall of Famer, like a legend, not only a good basketball player, a great person, a great leader. The strongest voice in our locker room is hers, and it's fun to have been around here now for about a month just to get to learn from her and soak it in, and I'm really happy she got to do it at the free throw line and all the fans could go crazy and cheer for her because she certainly deserved that moment, and it was really awesome to see.
The Indiana crowd erupted with a standing ovation as the PA announcer highlighted Diana Bonner's milestone. In that moment, it became clear. Despite the era of viral clips and rising young stars, true basketball fans still honor greatness that has stood the test of time. Bonner's climb to becoming the 3rd all-time leading scorer wasn't just a personal win. It set the tone for what would become a record-breaking night for the Fever. Now, with only Tina Charles ahead of her at 7,696 points, Bonner sits on the edge of yet another historic mark. But as incredible as her accomplishment was, the night was far from over. Another Fever standout was about to make her presence felt and show why Indiana's future looks incredibly bright. Remember when people doubted whether Aaliyah Boston could truly dominate, especially going up against her former South Carolina teammate, the towering 6'7" Camila Cardoso? Well, those critics got their answer in the most emphatic way possible during that showdown with the Chicago Sky.
All right, y'all. Hey, good stuff. Okay, we did a lot of really good things. I thought our defense was really good, and when we had lapses, we played through possessions. All right, so we made things happen. Y'all, overall, just hell of an...
Aaliyah Boston entered her third season with something to prove. She wasn't just aiming to be a solid player. She wanted to establish herself as a franchise cornerstone alongside Caitlin Clark. Together, they're forming the foundation of something special in Indianapolis, a duo poised to lead the Fever for the next decade. Heading into the game, the Chicago Sky's front court came in brimming with confidence. Angel Reese had been vocal all week, promising to dominate the paint against Boston. From Instagram posts to press conferences, even during warm-ups, Reese made it clear she believed the matchup belonged to her. Boston's answer? A defensive clinic that silenced every critic. She delivered 5 blocks that sent Chicago's shots flying into the stands, highlight reel moments that had fans on their feet, cheering and pointing to the scoreboard. Every time Reese went up for a shot, Boston was already there, waiting. Her defensive dominance was more than just a one-game statement. It was historic. Those 5 blocks moved Boston to 6th all-time in blocks in Fever history. Her 13 rebounds weren't just impressive, they pushed her to 8th place in franchise history for total rebounds, and she's only in her 3rd season. Think about that. Players have been grabbing boards in Indiana for decades, and Boston has already cracked the top 10. Her stat line, 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocks, put her in truly elite company. She became only the 2nd player in WNBA history to record at least 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks in a season opener. The only other player to do it? Natasha Howard, back in 2014. That's exclusive territory for anyone, let alone a rising star still early in her career. The Clark to Boston connection was on full display all night, showcasing flawless chemistry. Caitlin Clark kept feeding, her big with ease, a high-low pass here, a perfectly timed bounce pass there. On the other end, Boston guarded the rim like it held national secrets. Every time Chicago thought they had a clear path to the basket, Boston shut it down. Though Angel Reese did grab an impressive 17 rebounds, her offense took a hit. She shot just 5 of 14 from the field, struggling to score over Boston's perfectly timed contests. The much-hyped matchup quickly turned into a masterclass in defensive positioning and timing, with Boston firmly in control.
Yes, great job of those long arms of Aaliyah Boston here, going up multiple times.
But the most jaw-dropping defensive moment came when Boston and a teammate combined for a record never before, seen on WNBA opening night. Their partnership formed a wall that had scoring wings and guards across the league, rethinking how they'd attack Indiana's defense, and then there was Caitlin Clark. What she did against the Sky wasn't just remarkable, it was unprecedented. In the 28-year history of the WNBA, no player, not Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, or Cheryl Swoops, had ever accomplished what Clark did in a season opener. Clark entered her 2nd season with the weight of massive expectations. After shattering 62 records as a rookie and helping transform the Fever from a lottery team into a playoff contender, fans were eager to see how she'd follow up. But no one could have predicted what came next.
Ready for the season to tip off. It's the Fever against the Chicago Sky. We saw record crowds a season ago, and I'd say they are back and raring to go in 2025.
Early in the game, Caitlin Clark was already on fire. She nailed a deep 3 from the logo within minutes, the kind of shot that makes defenders stop and shake their heads. The ball barely touched the net on its way through. And that was only the beginning. Clark played like someone who spent the entire offseason with one mission: to dominate both ends of the floor. She began seeing passing lanes others couldn't, delivering pinpoint passes through impossible gaps. On the boards, she outjumped taller opponents with perfect timing to snag rebounds. But the most surprising part of her performance? Her shot blocking. She swatted shots with a level of confidence and timing we hadn't seen from her before.
The Indiana Fever faced off against the Chicago Sky in a blowout victory, and I have 3 words. Oh my God. Or now you know.
4 blocks set a new career high and marked the most blocks ever recorded by a point guard in a WNBA season opener. This surprised everyone who thought defense was her weak spot. These blocks weren't just ordinary, they were powerful rejections that fired up the entire team. The Clark-Boston duo reached their peak when they combined for 9 blocks. Yeah, most ever by a pair in a season-opening game in league history. Think about that. A point guard and a center teaming up for 9 blocks. That kind of defensive dominance is usually seen from twin tower front courts, not a guard and center pairing. As the fourth quarter began, anticipation filled the arena. Clark needed just 2 assists and 1 rebound to make history. The crowd was on the edge of their seats as she chased the first ever 20-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist triple-double in a season opener. Every time she passed the ball, fans held their breath. Every missed shot had them watching closely, hoping she'd grab the rebound. With just under 5 minutes left, Clark recorded her 10th assist with a perfect pass to Aaliyah Boston for a mid-range jumper. The crowd erupted in cheers. Minutes later, she grabbed her 10th rebound, sending the arena into absolute pandemonium. History was made, and everyone knew it. Clark's 20-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist game wasn't just her 3rd career triple-double. It made her 3rd on the all-time triple-double list. She became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 3 career triple-doubles, doing it in only 41 games. She also tied Alyssa Thomas for the 2nd most 20-point triple-doubles ever.
Not the first one in your career, but you had 4 blocks out there. That's more than you ever had in college. Matches your WNBA career high. Felt like you were channeling the spirit of Gabby Marshall out there with the blocks. Is that a part of your game that you've been working on the postseason? Are we going to see more blocks out of you as your career rolls on?
Not really.
But the most mind-blowing stat shows just how fast Clark is rewriting the record books. She now has 9 games with 20-plus points and 10-plus assists, 2nd all-time, right behind Courtney Vandersloot. What makes this even more incredible is that Clark achieved this in just 41 games. Diana Taurasi, who also has 9 such games, took 565 games to reach that mark. Vandersloot needed 430 games to hit 10 performances like this. That's the gap between Clark and everyone else who's ever played in the league. What takes other players their entire careers to accomplish, Clark is doing in her first 41 games. She's not just breaking records, she's changing how we think about what's possible in professional basketball. Think about this. If Clark keeps up even a fraction of this pace, she'll break every major WNBA record for points, assists, and triple-doubles before her career ends. This isn't exaggeration, it's simple math.
Not really something you can work on. I don't know, I felt like I had active hands. I had some pokes when our post players were playing good defense, and coaching staff has just challenged me to try to be a better defender every single practice and just getting better in that area. I still feel like there's a lot of room for me to improve. I don't think any of those blocks were too obvious. You look at the stat sheet and it's like, oh wow, 4, but you can get your hand on there and help your teammate out. It makes the world of a difference.
What we witnessed against the Sky wasn't just a win. It was the start of a dynasty that could dominate women's basketball for the next decade. The Fever's 35-point demolition of Chicago means more than just a regular victory. It showed what happens when generational talents come together at the perfect time. This wasn't just any blowout. It was the 2nd largest winning margin in Indiana Fever history. Skeptics might call this a one-game wonder, but the numbers tell a different story about what's brewing in Indiana. Breaking 11 records in a single night isn't luck. It's a clear warning to the rest of the league.
There it is! A triple.
The Clark-Boston connection is growing faster than anyone expected. Their combined 9 blocks prove they're developing a two-way chemistry that goes beyond scoring. This defensive partnership wasn't supposed to happen so quickly. Most experts thought it would take years for them to reach this level of teamwork and court awareness. Instead, they're already breaking records as a duo. This Fever roster has unmatched balance. You have Clark, a sophomore star breaking records, faster than anyone before her. Boston, a dominant third-year big, is climbing the franchise's record books. Veterans like Bonner, Howard, Sydney Colson, Brianna Turner, and Sophie Cunningham bring playoff and championship experience. Meanwhile, young stars like Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hall are stepping into their prime. Together, they're building something special.
She just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
Watching how quickly this team is coming together, it's hard not to feel excited. The spacing on the court is flawless, defensive rotations are sharp, and the ball moves with ease. These are things young teams usually struggle with, but the Fever make it look effortless. This isn't just about one record-breaking night. It's about seeing a team come together that could change the WNBA and bring multiple championships to Indiana. It's like watching the early Chicago Bulls before their championship runs. You can feel the foundation of something special being built. The most thrilling part? Clark, Boston, and this Fever team are only getting started. The rest of the league should be worried about what's coming next. If they can break 11 records in a single game now, imagine what happens when they reach their peak. This isn't just a good team having a great night. This is the start of something historic in women's basketball. The gap between the Fever and the rest of the league is about to get even bigger.
Well, the regular season is here, and we have no more time for flirting, folks. We have no more time. It's time to get serious about our business. And Caitlin Clark handled her business game 1. 20, 10, and 10. 20, 10, and 10. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, what did the kids say? Belt to ass. Oh yeah. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Indiana Fever destroy, obliterate, run out of the gym the Chicago Sky. 93-58.
The Indiana Fever didn't just win a game. They announced themselves as a serious force in women's basketball, with a 35-point demolition of the Chicago Sky. That's the second largest victory margin in franchise history. When a team breaks 11 records in one night, you're not just watching basketball, you're witnessing history in the making. And this Fever team might only be getting started. The real question isn't if Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and the Fever will break more records this season. It's how many more they'll shatter before it's all over. If you're a Fever fan, drop a comment below saying, "I've got the Fever." Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications, so you never miss a moment.